Each episode of the Lion Goat podcast is completely improvised. Expect comedy. Do not expect consistency or sense to be made. This is random nonsense for your amusement. I am Podbot. I was inspired by the excellent podcast, Improv for Humans, with Matt Besser. Listen to his show. Today's episode includes a continuation of the last episode's interviews and advice with the infamous Blind Alchemist and Q the Gambler. Listen to the Blind Alchemist podcast on Spotify and Anchor. Warning: the following podcast contains explicit material intended for emotionally immature adults. Trigger warnings for this episode include discussion about adult themes, violence, profanity, murder, sexually explicit behavior, political incorrectness, animal, emotional, mental, physical, sexual, and substance abuse. You should not listen to this. It might rot your brain. Listen to a better podcast. Seriously, stop. Don't continue. Okay, have it your way. I warned you. We must apologize for the audio quality in today's episode. There were some technical difficulties. Please be aware that the following material was recorded and edited experimentally using a phone app. Most future episodes are recorded using conventional editing and equipment, and are produced at a higher quality.
Welcome to your next experience of the great beyond. We're here today on the Lion Goat podcast to discuss all things lion and all things goat. This is the podcast where we discuss the ultimate questions.
We have a very special episode for you this evening. I have with me my esteemed guest, the Blind Alchemist. Welcome, Blind Alchemist. How are you today?
Oh, wonderful. Glad to be here, Chuck.
I will remain anonymous. I've got that clear.
I forgot. Sorry, Chuck. Today, we're going to dole out some professional advice.
Yes, we're giving advice. Our thousands of listeners, they've sent us millions of letters, and one of these letters includes the following questions, and we just thought we'd share with you what wisdom we have.
Also with us is our very unprofessional acquaintance. His name is Q the Gambler.
Welcome, Mr. Q.
You know, I'm young, so I think I know more than most.
Podbot, if you would be so kind, please remind us of last episode's question.
If you have forgotten or refused to listen to the last episode, the last question was from letter writer named Wants a Monkey. The fool wanted to buy a monkey for $14 and was intimidated to face the wrath of their father and mother.
Oh, dear.
Are you ready for letter number 2?
Oh, thank God.
Letter number 2 comes from
I've been ready for letter number 2 since we started talking about $14.
yeah, well, you could never find a $14 monkey. And if you do, you better purchase it. Anyway, this letter comes from...
the audacity of Wants a Monkey, $14. Ridiculous.
Well, I mean, he could buy a miniature monkey. Miniature Doberman Pinschers and miniature Shih Tzus and whatever else. Imagine
a mini macaque.
Yeah, mini macaque, yeah. But capuchins, they're pretty small monkeys.
Yeah, capuchins, yeah, they're very small. Do you know the difference between an ape and a monkey?
Tails and size, that's all I really know.
Yeah, tails, and, their bones are a little different in orientation because apes, some of them, they spend more time on their feet, like humans, on our back legs, I mean.
So they do walk upright and, hunched over?
Apes can walk on their hind legs. We do it every day.
I don't really know.
No, you're right. Tails is one of the main things. In the size, of course, like you said. Chimpanzees are much larger than capuchins.
Oh, yes, of course. That is correct. I have seen a chimpanzee and a capuchin side by side. Chimpanzee, quite quadruple the size of the capuchin. The silverback ape, even bigger than that. They're known to get at least 1,000 pounds. Maybe more.
This just in, a random fact. Why do people yawn? The answer is no one really knows.
Okay.
What's our second question?
Well, before we get to the second question, let me pause for a word from our sponsor, okay?
God damn it!
No. I've expressed many times that this is why we employ Podbot. Podbot will handle the advertisements for us.
Your product goes here. anything and everything good to say about your product, we'll say it right here, right now. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our Patreon, our YouTube, our FaceSpace, our Bluetooth.
No.
You'll find us on the interweb. And rock your product. Promo code discount from the Blind Alchemist and the Lion Goat and the Gambler Q. So just put Q the Gambler. That's our discount code.
No.
If you're listening to this episode and you see your product and you want to buy it, you just click on there, go to the little website at yourproduct.net, org, and/or com.
No.
You'll find it and you'll purchase this. You'll love it. I've got 6 of your products right here. I use them daily. Makes my life so much easier. My teeth are whiter, my hair is brighter, my lungs powerful. My feet don't even stink anymore because of your product. So please purchase your product.
That's not how any of this works. I've explained this before. We must first get the sponsorships before we can give out discount codes.
And apologies to our last sponsor, Kinsey's Ploppers. I know we dropped the ball on your ad last week. I'm so very sorry. We do want your sponsorship back, so we'll do damn near anything to get it. Please reach out to us. That's Kinsey's Ploppers.
Kinsey's, Joe over there at Kinsey's, we're really sorry about the mix-up. Ted,
That poor man.
our sound guy, he took the phone call. He wrote some stuff wrong. It got lost in translation, if you will. It was horrible on our end. We apologize. If you let us, we'll do the next ad for free. The next 2 ads for free. Legal says we can do that, Patricia.
Not a fan at all.
That's right. 2 free ads for you guys. And we'll
Ted,
please
if you're
contact
listening, please stop listening. I know you're editing this episode, but please stop listening. Blind Alchemist, that fucking idiot. You've got to do something about this. Ted, you can start listening again now, Ted.
No, he gave you a very nice compliment. He loves you very much. He thanks you for your hard work. So let's go on. Make sure you write everything, all the letters and all the words this time, so we don't look foolish when we try to make a commercial and lose another sponsor. Okay? Thank you. All right, now on to our next question. This writer goes by the handle of Andy or Tony ? Interesting. I wonder what Andy and or Tony is writing us about today. Okay. Hey guys, I'm in love with 2 boys, and I don't know which one to marry. 2 boys. First, there's Andy. He's sort of blonde and sells insurance. Mama likes him, which helps a lot. He's very reliable and seems anxious to get married. But then there's Tony. He's dark, sort of gives me the creeps. But in
Notice, all references to Dear Abby in no way refer to the American Advice column founded in 1956 by Pauline Phillips under the pen name Abigail Van Buren and carried on today by her daughter, Jean Phillips, who now owns the legal rights to the pen name. Instead, our magnificent hosts are specifically referring to the sage advice of the ancient alchemist, Abby Dioscorides, daughter of the Greek physician Dioscorides, who wrote in the Leiden Papyrus from 3rd century Egypt. Abby, spelled A-B-B-I-E.
Whoa, wait on.
You forgot to read the actual answer from Abby for Once a Monkey.
No. We're past monkey now.
We needed to judge our advice against Dear Abby's advice to see if Dear Abby gave better advice than us.
Well, what Dear Abby had to say to Want a Monkey, Dear Want, I
Dear
have
Want,
had 2
there's
pet
no
monkeys.
way in hell you could buy a monkey for $14.
Well, right here it says, I have had 2 pet monkeys, David and Bathsheba, and also, I love monkeys. Your father is right. To quote my son, he was 4 at the time, monkeys should live with monkeys, and people should live with people. So, okay. That's what Dear Abby said.
She had 2 monkeys?
She's apparently had 2 monkeys.
And she's telling them that it's a bad idea.
Yeah, because she knows. She made a pros and cons list, and the cons outweigh the pros.
Such a bitch.
Yeah, she sounds like bitch.
Oh no, I was talking about myself, not Abby. Abby's lovely. I love Abby. She's lovely. Okay, Andy and Tony. Mama loves Tony.
All right, let's see. I'm going to start over.
Were we talking about Tony or Andy?
Well, let's see. Mama likes Andy. He's the insurance salesman. He's reliable and anxious to get married to Andy. Okay, and also, he loves.
He's thirsty.
He's dark.
Thirsty.
And sort of gives me the creeps. but they're awfully nice creeps, if you know what I mean.
Oh, dear. Wait,
Uh,
Andy gives her nice creeps?
no, Tony gives her the nice creeps. I don't know what a nice creep is. I'm not a female. I've never experienced
Tony's
that
dark?
before. Tony is dark. Dark complected, dark haired, it doesn't say.
Dog in his soul, I imagine.
Yes, if he's giving you creeps, most likely. I don't know which one I like best. In the daytime, I like Andy. But I believe I like Tony better at night. Which one do you think would make the best husband for me?
Has she read Twilight?
I don't know if she's read Twilight.
Does Andy sparkle?
Well, I mean, if he sparkled, he shouldn't be
What on
outside,
earth is
right?
Tony doing at nighttime with this girl?
Well, apparently the good creeps, maybe a little heavy petting in the back seat, if you know what I mean.
Maybe Tony can give her an orgasm.
Well, maybe. Well, Andy is just an insurance salesman. He probably doesn't know his way around the clitoris, loving and moaning. What do you think, Hugh?
I think the answer is which one gives her an orgasm. I think that's the answer.
Right. Do you think the marriage is solely held together by the sake of the power of an orgasm?
We'll do damn near anything to get it. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that's what holds the marriage together. I'm just saying
Yes.
that is the choice. If it's a choice between a life filled with limp-handed Andy sex and hot throbbing cock from Tony, I think you got to go with the hot throbbing creep.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. Well, what do you think here, Gambler?
I would have to say the creep, dude. Because,
Really?
you know,
For the same?
no.
Would you say she should gamble on the creep?
Well, in a way, yeah. You know, I could fit my head inside his mouth. But, like, what my thing is, you know, if she stays with, what was his name? Not
Andy or Tony?
Andy. Okay. She stays with she stays with Andy, but she leaves to go with Tony. So she really loves Tony more because she leaves him to go to Tony. Like, yes. So I figured, she'd go to Tony. That'd probably be the one to marry.
My question is, what is Andy doing at night that
He's
keeps him awake?
jerking it from the sounds of it.
You got to go find this Tony guy. She's got a day lover and a night lover. How does he get any insurance sold if they're making sweet sex at the office?
I don't think she's had intercourse with Andy.
No, you don't think so? Just Tony.
I think that's probably she's gonna consider him like his friend. She's gonna friend zone him.
Oh, Andy's stuck in the friend zone. You think? Oh,
Yeah.
I bet because Mama likes Andy. So yeah, that's a feather in his cap. So that's a reason to keep him around. I bet he can open a jar pretty good too.
Prove it.
Maybe
You do have your instincts, though. I mean, when a man gives you the creep, it might mean that he's a pedophile or an abusive person. Can you do a read, Blind Alchemist, of the auras of these two gentlemen and let us know?
No, they'd have to be in the studio with us, and they are not. Because to read an aura,
Can't you reach
really
out
need.
over the interdimensional west, which is our universe, and detect their auras? Maybe you can feel the paper and feel... What is this caller's name?
Andy or Tony.
No, what's her name?
It is signed Andy or Tony.
No, what's her name?
Question mark. It is signed Andy or Tony.
Ridiculous. I'm not talking about Andy or Tony. I'm talking about the person that wrote the letter.
I am too.
I am too is the name?
No. Andy or Tony.
That's a lovely name. It's beautiful. I am too.
Yes. Andy. No, Andy or Tony.
I am too.
Yes.
It's a lovely name.
Well, it looks here, she's enclosed a photograph. She has dark hair, and she seems to be wearing nothing at all.
Prove it.
Okay.
We'll take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors. Just imagine, this could be your advertisement. Please reach us at liongoatpodcast@gmail.com to provide sponsorship. And now, back to the show.
Well, yes, she has a nice smile, Betty Davis eyes, nice
I have
figure
no idea
here.
who that is. Who's Betty Davis? Is she the one that makes the
She's
cakes
shapely.
and the brownies? Betty Davis.
No, that's a little Debbie.
No,
I do believe.
Crocker. Her name's Crocker. Crocker Davis. That's it.
No, I don't. Maybe I'm thinking of Betty Crocker. Maybe Betty Crocker. She was the actress.
Who's Betty Crocker?
Yes, Betty Crocker. Wasn't she the actress with the come hither eyes, the bedroom eyes, as they coxcomb?
Oh, dear.
There was a song written about her, Betty Crocker.
Mary Magdalene? Is that who you're thinking of?
No.
Mary Magdalene?
No, that's further back in time than we went.
Prove it.
She was a very nice lady too. I met her once.
Ridiculous. Maggie
Had a
Monroe? Is it Maggie Monroe?
No, she was blonde, and
Yeah, the pinup Maggie Monroe.
no. I know who you're talking about. I know Maggie Monroe. She was blonde.
Prove it. Davis, Maryland. That
She
was.
was having sex with all the Kennedys.
Oh, dear.
I recall you talking about. No, we're talking about Betty Crocker.
How dare you talk about Jackie that way?
I'm not
She was
talking
a lovely
about
woman.
Jackie.
Prove it.
I don't really think so. I mean, I'm pretty sure she killed Kennedy. I'm pretty sure of that. I believe Jackie O had something to do with it.
Ridiculous. Because he found her magic bullet
Well, yes, and it was in her.
in her purse.
It was in her taco pocket.
It's a good
Her
place
taco-
to keep it.
Yes, that's where I keep my magic vibrating bullet in my taco pocket.
If there's a reason to ride in a convertible, it's because you've got a magic bullet in your taco pocket.
That is very true. I feel like the
You're
gambler
quite
is
sweaty.
completely lost on all these references.
So, like,
Well, you want the top down so your hair can blow and you stay cool while the magic
While
bullet.
you're masturbating with the president beside you. That's what we're talking
Right.
about, masturbation.
okay. I knew what the taco pocket was.
How could you know what a taco pocket is?
That's
I
a
just made
delightful
the-
supper item, an entree, the taco pocket. Delightful.
It just tastes like copper sometimes.
Wow. You're fishing in bad water, sir. You need to stay away from that sea shanty. Probably get crabs.
Is that what the C in hepatitis C stands for, copper?
Yes.
So,
like,
well, I don't understand what she means by awfully nice creep. I don't know what that
That's
is.
what I'm saying. I think this creep factor is an issue, even if he does give her orgasm.
He obviously enjoys them. They are good, nice creeps. I don't know what that means.
There's something to say about an income, a man with an income. Perhaps we should start a pros and cons list.
Okay. Pros
On one
for
side,
Andy.
they might stab you with a spear and cut your gooch. In
No, those are monkeys. We're not talking about that. We're talking about the pros and cons for Andy.
Anthony
and
the monkey, right?
No.
There's some monkey that she's considering marrying.
No, Tony and Andy.
Anthony sells flood insurance. Her dad loves him, and Lancelot's a secret detective.
There's Tony, who may or may not have actual employment because she doesn't mention.
I think he's a gigolo.
You
That's
think
why
so?
he works at night.
Ah, that makes sense.
Prove it.
Or maybe he's a security guard at the zoo.
A gentleman of the evening.
Oh, okay. You think so? You think he's standing on the corner? No.
I think that's why she's spending her $14 to see him every night.
Could be. Do you think she's paying him to have sex? Paying for $14 sex?
Well, that would certainly be creepy. Any kind of gigolo that would work for $14.
Yeah. I don't know. Probably not good lovemaking. I bet you get crabs. Probably.
Crabs?
Yeah. Crabs or hurt. You know.
No crabs?
So what we've got here, Anthony or Tony, question mark, is, well, a lot of reasons to go with Tony. Because, A, he works at night. Because nighttime is the right time.
Mr. Gambler, the Blind Alchemist is obviously struggling. We're going to need another one of your interjected stories. Can you conjure up another story for us? Please tell us time you paid a male gigolo $14 for an evening and how many orgasms he gave you.
Well, the last time I paid for a gigolo was probably in 04.
1804?
Yeah,
Oh, wait, no.
yeah.
2004. Yes. Okay.
Yes, it was. You know, and what had happened? I think I paid him. It was
Now,
actually
you're 20 years old now, which means in 04, you were how old?
I think it was like 4. I was a pimp back in the day.
Oh, wow, yeah. I recall that about the young gambler. He was making the ladies swoon even at that age.
Oh, dear.
He had multiple girlfriends at many times. They were all older women.
Prove it.
I don't know how he did it.
Like, I guess it's just luck. I guess you know.
Luck or
I'm impressed. Tell us more. Back in 04.
Like, so 04, I was walking the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Now, were you pushing a scooter or were you on a big wheel at this time?
I was getting pushed in the big wheel.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
And
That's right, because you're a pimp. You're like, push me, motherfucker.
Yeah, sir. Yeah.
I don't pedal myself around.
And, I just get pushed around. I look over, And this one gigolo, comes up to me, says, "I'll give you $13.99." It wasn't exactly $14. It was $13.
That's crackhead money right there. Yeah, the crackheads never have the exact amount.
Took me to a hotel.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got four out of them.
$4?
No. 4 orgasms.
4 crack rock?
4 loads of semen in your
4 hot loads. I understand.
Yes.
I was confused.
Yes.
I've never known a 4-year-old that could have 4 orgasms. That's kind of gross to think about.
Yeah.
But I suppose when you're a 4-year-old pimp, the rules of life are different.
Yeah, the streets chose me.
Prove it.
Mm-hmm.
Is the gambler reincarnated Mr. Blind Alchemist? Can you tell us of his past lives?
No.
No, this is his first go around, which is quite disturbing. He's fairly young and new school, excited to be
Oh my
here,
goodness.
and has a scarred nutsack. But he's doing well for his age.
Have you seen his scarred nutsack?
No.
God damn it!
No. Just the
Does that
X-ray.
show up on the aura? Is it like a little indentation, like the bottom of a heart, right around his aura?
You can see the staple marks.
An oral crease, if you will.
I am remote viewing it now. It is not a pretty picture.
What color is his aura?
Purple
Ah,
or violet, one of those.
it's a lovely shade of flower.
Yes.
I have no idea what that means from an oral context. I can tell you when a goat is purple, it means you've had some serious issues with your clover stalk.
Yes, that definitely means you need.
And you don't even want to know what happens when the lions turn purple.
What happens then?
You don't want to know.
Okay, purple aura.
You don't want to know. Trust me, you don't.
I don't want to know.
Tell me about the purple aura. No, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. Very rude.
Well, if you didn't know, purple represents the color of the third eye chakra. This is a seat of
That
your.
sounds delightful. 3-eyed taco. I love taco.
Yes, this is the seat of your psychic and spiritual intuition, okay? It sits right around your pineal gland, which is your third eye, your third eye chakra. At times, you might be able to see
I've never had
the
pine
good and
nuts
bad
on a
things
taco
coming.
before, but pine nuts on a taco sounds pretty good. Didn't mean to interrupt. Go on about the pine nuts and the tacos.
Anyway, pine nuts are delicious
what's wrong?
tacos.
No. You were saying the pine nuts. You called it.
All right, we're going to do one more letter.
Wait. We were talking about intuitive purple tacos and pine nuts.
We were talking about the gambler's aura, which is purple. That means he's inquisitive about his LGBT plus Q plus community. Obviously, he's had quite a few homoerotic experiences. Gender is fluid. This is 2020, so it doesn't really matter. It's you are who you say you are. And so more power to you, gambler. Have you won a man in a card game before?
Not a man. I won a woman one time.
I won a woman and a monkey.
And a monkey, yes.
But not the same card game.
So it was two different casinos.
Okay.
So you're playing blackjack when you gambled on this poor person's life.
I did. Yes, it was.
What's your stand? Many people think that this is controversial. You've got 18, and the dealer has 15. Do you hold, or do you take a hit?
You take a hit.
Ooh, that's risky business.
No wonder they call you the gambler.
Right? I would have gone with hold. That's pretty close, 21. But
yeah, but the chance of, the dealer, they got 15, so they got a bigger chance, winning. So, because if they draw 2, 3, look, you beat,
Yes, if they got a 2 and a 3, you would be beat. That's true. That's true.
I don't know. I'm not a gambler. I don't like to lose money.
So one of the two, I think the answer to your question is always pick a man that's willing to give you pine nuts on your tacos.
Okay,
I mean, isn't that
fair?
That's clearly what we decided, isn't it?
Let's see what old Abby had to say about this.
Such a bitch. I mean myself, of course.
I know. Dear Andy or Tony.
Her name is one of the two.
This Abby, she's a bitch. Anyway, don't marry either one.
How dare you? Abby's a fine young lady.
She says if it's a toss-up, date others and make your comparison. When the one comes along, you'll flip your lid and not a coin. Well, that's sound advice, Abby. She's saying go whore around some more instead of sticking with Tony because he can dick you down proper.
Ah.
Okay, that's what Abby says about it. Let's move on to our next letter.
Now, were those Abby's official words, dick you down proper?
No.
Seems quite forward for Abby. I mean, I've never heard her use that language, but I like it.
Well, It is not a pretty picture. Everybody wants Tony because he can dick you down proper. I know I do.
I certainly don't.
Okay.
No, I mean, I don't. I don't want anyone to do that to me.
Okay. Well, we'll cancel the all-male orgy that we ordered and had sent to your studio.
That sounds delightful. Don't cancel it.
Oh, okay. Never mind, Ted. He's changed his mind. Don't cancel it. Tell Patricia to...
Oh, God. Have you not fired that asshole Ted yet? Sorry, Ted. You can start listening again.
Yeah, he does fine work when he's not hopped up on cocaine.
Did he steal your car again?
No, he stole Tyrone's car last time.
Have you told the gambler that story?
No. The gambler doesn't know. Anyway, Ted still has not fixed the car-shaped hole in the sound booth in there.
I can tell the acoustics are wretched today. I'm sorry, Ted. You can start listening again now.
Ted, that is no. Ted, put that down. That is no. That costs money. Do not throw the chair at the glass again. Don't make me come in there, Ted. That's what I thought. All right. Now, anyway, we're going on to our third and final letter. This one is from one man's opinion. Well, clearly, it is one man's opinion.
Trust me.
If you read the papers as well as write for them, you saw the article about the judge who gave a husband permission to spank his wife. Well, interesting. When she needed it.
No.
All I can say is it's about time.
Very rude.
Well, okay. I was beginning to think women were taking over the country.
Thank God.
If more men turned their wives over their knee and showed them who was boss, society would be in better shape.
Prove it.
Spanking should be legalized. One man's opinion.
Yes, it was.
Well, that is true.
Canceled.
That is definitely one man's opinion.
Canceled.
He can't cancel that man for his opinion.
Canceled.
That's the problem. We live in a very shaky... I bet this guy's been crucified by social media and the mainstream media. I hope you're okay, one man. I hope you're okay. What kind of spanking are we talking about?
I hope it's sexual. I hope she likes it. That's all I
do too. Is it like barehanded, a belt, or is he making her go outside and get a switch off a tree? That's what I
think it's probably bare-bottomed, for sure. I think there's probably a bit of bondage going on, a bit of...
you think so? That's what I thought.
A little rope-a-dope, a little sakuri.
Do you think, is she dressed in all leather, or is she dressed in latex while getting the spanking?
I think she's certainly in a latex outfit with the bottom cut out. It's certainly bare bottom.
Yes.
What we do...
Yes, because you want those ass cheeks nice and...
There may be some latex cuffings on the handcuffs, and there's certainly some rope work involved. I'm thinking...
he was making the lady swoon.
I'm thinking his implement of choice is one of those little paddle ball paddles, don't you think?
Oh, yeah, I can see that. That's a good choice.
He's removed the paddle ball, and he's using that as a gag in her mouth. But it's certainly one of those little paddle ball paddles.
Why don't you use an apple instead of
an apple?
Yeah, I did.
Because she could bite the gunk out of the apple and choke. That's a choking hazard.
For sure. If you're going to cook a woman over a spit, that's when you want to use an apple in the mouth.
That makes sense. But this is about spanking, and
it flavors. The juices of the apple are sweet, and they flavor the meat. Hence the term sweet meat.
Yes, he is not wrong. Also, the sweetness of that apple juice, the juice from that apple, mixed with the juice from the
blood.
The juice from the vagina.
The blood.
We'll call it vagina juice.
That's kind of gross.
Can we say that?
Yes.
I'm not a female. We can say vagina these days?
Yes.
Or is it called something else culturally?
Ridiculous. Let's just call it moistness. General moistness.
We'll take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors. Just imagine, this could be your advertisement. Please reach us at liongoatpodcast@gmail.com to provide sponsorship. And now, back to the show.
Well, no, there's a lot of people out there that would cancel us for using that word moist. It upsets
people. It's such a scrumptious word. Moist apples. Moist apples. Just say it. It feels so good on the tongue.
Moist apples. But I don't think you should eat a moist apple because they should be crisp and juicy.
Certainly crisp and juicy and moist.
Not a moist apple. That's like biting into a soggy apple.
Right.
Haven't you ever had a nice, sweet, candied apple, a baked, candied, moist apple. Delightful, with a little brown sugar on top.
Yes, I wouldn't call them moist. I would call them
Cinnamon,
soft.
brown sugar.
They are delicious. I have eaten many off of nipples and hard cocks in my life.
Have you now?
Yes.
This is something I didn't know about the Blind Alchemist.
Well, I did a stint for a while. I started in porn. I started as a fluffer.
In the corn industry? Did you say the corn industry?
Yes, in the corn industry. I started as a fluffer.
What does a fluffer do with corn syrup? Are you stirring it up?
We're stirring it up. We're keeping it active.
Tell us more.
Before it's cooked, got to keep it wet and stiff before it gets into the hot pink pot. So, it's mostly done by hand. Sometimes we use gloves, lube.
I certainly hope you use some sort of gloves to prevent your hands from burning.
Yes, we don't want shaving.
What about when you drive the combines around? Tell a little about the combine operation. I've never operated a combine. It sounds delightful.
There's some levers that make the combine work, and there's a steering wheel that operates kind of like a car. Turn it left and right, and mostly you don't want to do that unless you need to.
What about those giant shuckers on the front? How do you turn those on and off?
Oh, there's switches, bells and switches that lights up. It's pretty much, you can currently, if you would like, hey Ted, have Patricia tell John Deere we're going to do their spot next. They have a fully automated John Deere combine. Basically, you can operate it from the couch with your phone. GPS mapping routes it out. No kidding. You can go milk the cows.
I like it.
And harvest the field at the same time. Multitasking for farmers.
Do they make nice hot roasted nuggets?
I'm sure they do. Corn nuggets?
Yes.
Chicken nuggets?
Yes.
You can make nuggets out of a lot of things.
What we do?
I've seen mac and cheese nuggets, which is weird.
Cancelled!
Okay. So, one man opinion.
Cancelled.
A light spanking is...
Unless, of course, she likes it. If she's asking for the spanking. I mean, if she's reading the Shades of Grey book and she likes the spanking, she likes the latex outfit, she likes the ping pong paddles, she likes the gimp mask. If she likes all that, then more power to him. And he's not canceled. But if he's just talking about brutalizing women, treating them like children, he's canceled.
Well, certainly that would definitely get them canceled. Treating women like they're objects of any kind, inferior in any way. We know that a woman can do anything a man can do except earn equal pay and pee standing up.
It feels so good.
But they're working on that. A lot of women do those Kegel exercises.
Prove it.
A few that I know personally can direct their urine. Yeah, they can write their name in the snow just like I can.
Prove it.
It's very interesting to watch. They get a nice arc and
I once dated a woman who could write her name in the snow.
Yes, her name was Pat. I recall.
Not Pat. No.
Not Pat?
Not Pat. No, she could write her name in the snow when she was squatting.
What are you talking about? Are you referring to Victoria?
Well, we called her Vicky, but yes.
Well, yeah. When I met her, she said her name was Victoria, but everybody called her Vicky for short. She's very sweet.
No.
I did not know she could write her name in the snow, though. That's interesting.
Great
Did you do anything
projection.
else?
At least 6 feet projection. It was great.
Wow, that's impressive. Excellent golden shower giver, I assume. I didn't know you were into that.
She wasn't into that. No.
No, okay.
Very unfortunate.
Yes.
I always said, Vicky, be free. Vicky, be free. Vicky, be free. Vicky, be free. But, she didn't think it was proper etiquette.
He is not wrong. Well, maybe she just didn't want to be free.
Gambler?
You know?
Yeah.
Does the G in gambler stand for?
Does the G in gambler stand for what? Ted, what are you doing? Why are we having all these problems with connectivity? We've lost Anonymous and the Lion Goat channel. Ted, get your head out of your ass and work it out, Ted.
I'm here.
Okay, well, we were having some dropping issues. Apparently, Ted is in there.
Tell us more.
Are you jacking off, Ted?
That poor man.
I know a woman getting spanked dressed in latex is fucking sexy and hot, but hey, that's the time and place. We're trying to be professionals and do a goddamn podcast here, Ted. Put your fucking dick away. We do not have time for this. That's what Patricia said.
Not fed.
One more time. If I go in there in her office and tell her about this, you're gone. Okay. And you still owe me money. Sorry, guys. Ted's fucking off.
Very unfortunate.
So one man's opinion is that everyone should be able to spank their wives. We agree with that.
No.
I think as a unanimous, as long as the conditions of that spanking.
No. Only if it's consensual spanking.
Well, let me finish my statement, sir.
I'm so very sorry.
We do unanimously agree with that.
No.
One man, as long as...
I still think he should be canceled. His tone of voice, very rude.
Might need to be canceled. This is outdated thinking, most certainly.
For sure. What did Miss Abigail say?
Okay, well, Miss Abby says, dear man, there are at least two things wrong with legalizing wife spanking.
Prove it.
One, when does a spanking end and a beating begin? That's an excellent question.
Cancel.
Oh, yeah. You don't want to go too far. Yeah, it's one thing to leave her ass cheeks red and rosy and a little tingy, but you don't want to break her spine.
It feels so good. This is what Abby said about...
yes, this is what she's saying. Yeah.
She used those terms?
The second thing that's wrong with legalizing wife spanking is who is the final authority on when a wife needs a spanking? Clearly, that probably should be her husband. He's going to know when she's out of line. Of course, herself, she can ask for one. Let me go on. When she repeatedly puts starch in the scholars? Oh, yeah, no. Well, maybe he wants starch in the scholars. You never know. Or paste his mother in the face with a coconut cake? Whoa, well, okay. Wow. Yeah, definitely should probably get a spanking for throwing a coconut cake at mother-in-law, don't you think? I mean, damn, I'm going to have to agree with
I cannot
one
tell
man
when
here.
you're editorializing or when you're reading their app.
Okay, I'm going to start over. Dear man, there's at least two things wrong with legalizing wife spanking. Number one, when does a spanking end and a beating begin? Two, who is the final authority on when a wife needs a spanking?
The wife.
Well, I don't know.
When she says, Daddy, please spank me, that's when she needs a spanking.
Mm-hmm. That's a good choice. Wait, hold on. Let me finish what Abby says. When she repeatedly puts starch in the collars, I think we can let that slide. I think we can all agree a good starch collar is pretty good.
But I like it.
Good to have on your shirt. Or paste his mother in the face with a coconut cake. Sorry, but spankings are for children, she says.
Prove it.
Well, if you're throwing a cake at my mom's face, you're certainly acting like a child, and you're about to get your ass whipped. Whether you're asking for one or not. Disrespectful to my mom. I mean, you don't do that.
You didn't think it was proper. Are you
I didn't throw
reading
a
Dear
fucking
Abby,
cake
or are you editorializing?
I'm editorializing right now. I didn't throw a fucking cake at your mom, you bitch. And that cunt ran over the dog with her Buick. Okay? Now my dog is dead.
Sorry.
And I you know what? I just said, okay, it's life. It's okay. Things happen. I let Anna, your mother, your bitch of a mother, your backstabbing, dog-killing slut of a fucking
Ted, I'm gonna need you to cut this out, Ted. It sounds like the Blind Alchemist has gotten into the cocaine again, Ted.
I did.
I thought you had stolen all the cocaine from him, and he was not going to get into it again.
I did.
But it sounds like he has. I'm gonna need you to stop chopping up those rails. I hear that in the background. I hear you chopping rails. Stop it, Ted.
Just keep them coming, Ted. That's the only reason you still have a job. Anyway, I do agree. Spanking sometimes, not all the time. I think it's a mutual agreement between the man and the woman, the wife and the husband, when a spanking should occur. Okay? And I'm not opposed to him getting a spanking either, dude. Being a husband getting a spanking. That
No,
could be
I heavily
really
encourage it. As a matter of fact, it sounds like this gentleman he's looking for spankings himself, or he wouldn't have written this letter. I mean, let's be honest. Anyone that claims women need spanking, we all know what that's really about. He's the one who wants to be wearing the latex panties.
Well, you may be right. There are a lot of people that like to be hung upside down and pegged, for instance.
I hear you chopping rails.
I'm not one of those men.
It sounds like Abby's into cake sitting.
Into cake sitting, you think? Abby here? Well, she did bring up coconut cake. Like throwing them at his mother-in-law here.
Maybe the mother-in-law's into it too. Maybe
we don't know.
Abby's mother-in-law's into cake sitting.
I don't know much about her mother-in-law. I never met her. I did meet Abby's sister, Maryland. She's a very lovely lady.
Is
Good
she into
cook.
cake sitting?
No.
Golden showers?
No, she does a lot of cock worship. She likes that. She enjoys that.
How do you know?
Well, I'd rather not say. I get
You
worship.
don't kiss and tell. Well, I'm impressed by that. I like that, Blind Alchemist.
I am a full-blown gentleman.
I think we ran out of time about 55 minutes ago.
Oh, I'm certain we did. I am certain we did. We've completely lost track of
It feels so good.
the entire point of this advice.
I'm pretty sure we gave some sage advice.
No, well, yes.
We've all learned the
to
difference
sum up-
between an ape and a monkey.
That's true. That's true. We know that
And we've all
monkeys
learned
can
that there is no answer to why people actually yawn.
Actually, that is because your brain needs oxygen.
Prove it.
Science. I'm a big fan of that stuff.
Science or yawning? I'm a fan of
Both.
yawning.
I know it's contagious. I yawned once, and the entire stadium that I was sitting in yawned right after me. One after another. It was like the wave of a yawn. You know, it was really interesting. 30,000 people yawned.
Another popular theory is that yawns are contagious thanks to social bonds.
Well, you think so? Think so?
Many experts believe they may be a sign of empathy.
I mean, damn, it could be. Could be. Like I said in the beginning of this podcast, we are definitely not professionals. This is not sound advice. I wouldn't listen to me if I was the only man left on the planet giving out advice. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Blind Alchemist speaking on behalf of Q the Gambler and Anonymous Lion Goat.
No. My name is not Anonymous, and thank you for tuning into the Lion Goat podcast. Thank you, Q, the Golden Shower. The Gambler Q. Sorry, I'm confusing myself again. Wait, this isn't my podcast.
Whose podcast is this?
Mr. Blindfolded Chemistry Professor, thank you so much for having me again on your lovely physics television show. I'm confusing myself. I appreciate it.
A pleasure. I'm glad you were here. Thank you for bringing both your lions and your goats. And please take that crate of dead monkeys with you.
For sure. Don't forget to purchase Kinnessy's Ploppers. Every chance you get, listener. Kinnessy's Ploppers. That's 100 Kinnessy Street. We put the plop in ploppers.
They do. They're certainly delicious. They fit really well. You're going to love them when you strap them on.
It feels so good. These are adult diapers, just to be clear. They're scrumptious.
They're edible adult diapers. These guys,
depends on who's eating them, I suppose.
They think of everything. You know, there's a strawberry, a grape.
Thank God.
Poop. I don't know who's eating the poop flavored.
What we do.
You know, to each his own. Everybody out there, you can do what you want with your life.
I do.
Live, laugh, make love.
Flavor the meat.
Don't hurt anybody with a stick. Well, unless you have a stick to hurt them back with, because they're probably trying to kill you. Everybody out there hates you.
Oh, I misheard you. I thought you were saying not to hurt anyone using a stick.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like a nightstick, down with the police and all that.
Right. Defund those cocksuckers and cancel them.
Another popular theory is...
Because nobody wants to go to jail. Jail is a horrible place, ladies and gentlemen. I don't recommend it.
Talking to the lions, they hate it.
I'm sure they do.
The goats are nonplussed.
They get a little more yard time than the lions. Is that what you're saying?
No, they just don't give a shit.
They are just goats. Anyway.
All they say is meh. It's not a whole lot to talking to a goat, and it's kind of nice when they stand on your back when you're doing yoga.
I have eaten many.
When you're wearing your Kinsley's Ploppers.
Oh?
Yeah, and that probably puts the right amount of pressure on your.
And they have goat size now. Goat size Ploppers now.
No, they do. For your goats, do you gear up your goats on the ranch with Kinsey's Ploppers?
Only when we're going on a flight somewhere and they need a little extra padding. Those airplane seats aren't very comfortable for goats.
No, you're right. Does the airline make your goats wear seatbelts? Or do they let them just chill out in the air like children?
Now we will take a break for some advertisements. Please support our sponsors.
Your product goes here. Anything and everything good to say about your product, we'll say it right here, right now. Promo code.
I was a pimp back in the day.
And now, back to the show.
Oh, they ride in the cargo hold, in the special goat section of the cargo hold.
Oh, you're okay. American Airlines has a goat section of their cargo hold. I did not know that about American.
I would
Did you
never
know that?
fly American Airlines. We're talking about Delta here, of course.
Oh, Delta. Oh, of course.
And
of course.
Southwest treats everyone like goats, so it's about the same whether you're a passenger or a goat.
I always fly. Maybe
Through
you've heard of
astral
them.
projection. We know.
Well, when I have to physically fly through the air, I use the Wright brothers.
Prove it.
Their airline is old.
Are they a sponsor this week? Canceled.
They're not canceled. They're very good.
Cancel. Can't cancel that plug for the Wright Brothers Airlines. They're not a sponsor.
Hey, look, Ted, I'm only going to sponsor things I believe in, and I believe in Orville and Will. Okay, they're very good guys. They made their own plane.
Named Orville. You can't trust a man named Orville unless it's Mr. Redenbacher.
Well, he makes excellent popcorn. He's a very good popcorn maker.
He makes excellent airplanes. Thank you very much.
Orville, he's a different Orville.
Prove it.
Orville Redenbacher, he makes the popcorn. He doesn't make popcorn planes.
Prove it.
Because that wouldn't fly. Apparently,
it's light as air. Imagine an airplane being made of popcorn, freshly popped and buttered popcorn. It would be delightful.
Well, the butter would hold it together probably.
And it would fly with absolutely the smallest engine you can imagine.
And you could probably eat a little bit of the cockpit while you're flying along.
Ridiculous. Well, maybe after landing. Let's not encourage people to eat airplanes while they're in flight.
Well,
it's simply not safe. I mean, it would be delicious, but it's simply not safe.
What if it was a caramel popcorn airplane? I think that would hold together better than the butter.
Yes, you would need a larger engine. There's quite a different weight ratio. But you could compromise with a good kettle corn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, kettle corn is a little too sweet for me. I'm not a fan.
Well, we're talking about flight capacity ratios and not flavor.
Well, this is true. So you're saying a kettle corn would make a better airplane?
Redenbacher's bow tie, it wasn't simply a bow tie. It was actually, it was a very scaled down model of his first air wing design.
Really? And he wore it around his neck?
Yes, that's why his airplanes were so delightful. They were all shaped like little bow ties.
How many passengers could fit on his bow tie-sized popcorn airplane?
Well, you'll have to ask Mr. Redenbacher about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
He's long dead. But, you could call him up in one of your seances, have one of your medium friends over.
Right. I think I'll get Teresa to do that for us, maybe later.
Just align their pine nut tacos, align the pine nut tacos with Mr. Golden Shower's purple auras.
Oh?
Insert your purple aura into the pine nut tacos and call up Orville.
We have horribly lost our way. These are horrible double entendres. I don't think I want to...
Where is Gambler? He hasn't said a word.
Gambler, are you still there? Have we lost you?
No. I'm still here,
Do you have any gibberish to add, sir?
No, I do not. So...
Are there any good casinos or games that you want to plug?
Oh? There's a casino in Tennessee. I want to go to it, so...
Which one's that?
The one in Chattanooga.
Oh.
There is a casino in Chattanooga. I had no idea. Well, I had no idea.
No, it's a very secret. It's very secret. What
was that?
We are police officers.
It's a white male, 50 years old, 6 foot, medium build, he has gray hair, he has jeans and stuff are 137, 3099, or 455. Can you guys go over there to help him?
Copy on the road therapy.
I think we
lost the Gambler.
He got disconnected. Ted, you're fucking fired. finally.
I think that was the Wyoming police. They finally caught up to him. I think the Nigerian army finally caught up to him.
Nigerian army got him. He lost connection. We don't know if the gambler's alive or dead, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to end this now. We're going to send out a search party and see what we can find out. Maybe we'll let you know next week. Thank you for joining us.
I've had a lovely time. I hope you have.
It was enjoyable. There was some very good advice given about monkeys.
Delightful.
Yes. Always start at the top of the taco when you eat.
And I'm going to need you to cut this out. $14 is utterly ridiculous.
For buying a monkey, yes. Never find a monkey for $14. Not even on eBay or Amazon. Now, you could probably get a pine nut taco for $14.
A nice pine nut taco.
If you know the
Nice
right
one. A good
taco
purple
maker.
one. Good and purple. Moist.
Well, anyway, we're going to end this here.
Moist and purple.
Yes, moist purple pine nut taco. Please have an order brought over. Ted, if you're calling for the dinner, and hopefully you're calling for tacos and not the police again. Okay. Ted, I'm not talking to you. We're going to end this up. We're going to wrap it down.
Ted, please take the Blind Alchemist's cocaine away. Please
We're going to
stop chopping rails.
We're going to send this over to our man
I will remain anonymous.
for editing, and whatever that guy works his magic's what we pay him for. Ladies and gentlemen,
The
thank you for
best
joining us.
goddamn editor in the planet. That guy.
That hairline production, dude, he does it. Knocks it out of the park.
That latest song, did you hear that?
Oh, yes, I heard that. It's very Grateful Dead vibey. I've been listening to it all day, pretty much on repeat, in my earphones, in the car. Very excellent work. The B-side that he sent, well, it was good too. At first, it struck me that I was listening to a medieval tavern minstrel perform in a tavern.
The B-side. Are you talking about the one with all the instruments or the one with just the guitar and the piano?
No. The one with the guitar and the piano, that's the Grateful Dead vibey one. I enjoyed it thoroughly. The second one, the one with all the instruments, it had me thinking for a moment that I was literally in a medieval tavern, listening to a minstrel. And then at some point I thought I was playing a video game. I was like, this sounds like the video game we should be walking around. And then this is going to sound weird. The first 4 or 5 seconds of the song make me think of the MASH theme song. And I don't know why.
I thought he needed to scale it back a bit.
Well, I can agree with that.
I like what you're saying. Playing Pac-Man in a medieval tavern. Sounds delightful.
Does have a medieval feel. Where the violinish kind of instrument, I don't like the guitar starts or whatever, and it's like the do-do-do. The name of the theme song is Suicide is Painless, if you want to know. But if you find the Johnny Mandel version, it won't sound anything like the show intro, because it'll just be guitar and him singing. And
Perhaps it's your negative attitude.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us. Listeners, goodbye. Thank you for coming here on whose ever podcast we're on today. I'm the Blind Alchemist.
And I am... It's a secret.
The mastermind over at Lion Goat podcast. Check out his stuff. It's probably a little weirder than what we've done here today. Very excellent work. But we are collaborating and, trying to build our branding together because, we enjoy each other's jokes.
Trust me, they hate it.
Our special guest, Q the Gambler, glad he was able to join us. Hopefully he did not get arrested by whatever branch of the law enforcement was after him, which was numerous and many. And I think we're done. Ted, you want to wrap it up? Insert Q music about now.
That's not how any of this works.
Don't forget, folks, our Instagram. You can just head over there, follow us. Facebook, follow us. You find out when our next episodes are coming.
Subscribe to our podcast on Anchor.
And Spotify. You'll find us. The Blind Alchemist here. The Blind Alchemist out. You guys enjoy your life.
But do remember, until next time.
Icky be free. Icky be free. Icky be free.
We would love to receive your feedback, your improvisation suggestions, your questions for advice, and your musical compositions for response. Please email us or send us a voicemail. Our address is liongoatpodcast@gmail.com. Like, review, subscribe, and contact us on Facebook, Instagram, Patreon, Twitter, and YouTube at Lion Goat Podcast. Please subscribe to this podcast on your podcast player. We are available on Spotify and anchor.fm/Lion Goat Podcast. Please tell all your friends, enemies, and any strangers to listen to our podcast. This will help us bring joy to everyone. Text-to-speech services were provided by freetts.com and readloud.net. Additional sound effects were provided by freesound.org. Public domain music for today's show was provided by freemusicarchive.org, Riffusion, and musescore.org. Original music for today's show is composed, performed, and recorded by the excellent musicians at Hayk Productions. Today's show was edited, produced, and recorded by the world's greatest sound designers and engineers at Hayk Productions. Please like their content on SoundCloud.